Good morning. This is the part 2 of my car vlog about vaccination and civil liberties, constitutional and legal rights. But now on the third ground, I've spoken about just one theological ground and also constitutional and legal ground in my previous vlog. But now I want to go into the third reason or third ground why people should have a right to refuse vaccination. The third ground is on the ground of conscience. First, vaccination is really receiving something foreign into your body. And everyone should have a right, on the basis of their conscience alone, to say yes or no to something that is injected into their bodies, something that maybe 98% of people say is safe and so on. But don't forget that in the report that I've heard in several studies, at least 4,000 people have died post-vaccination, 1 or 2 weeks after vaccination. Perhaps you can say 4,000 out of maybe 80 million or even 100 million people. That's a minuscule. But a life is a life. And the person, no one knows his or her body better than the person himself or herself. I know my body, the best that I can. I've lived in this mortal body for 57 years and a month. I know how weak it could be. I have allergies. For the first 3.5 months when I was in Manau, 2015, I couldn't stop sneezing and having a running nose every morning until mid-April 2015. You can say almost 100 days trial, really. And then it suddenly stopped. And the amazing thing is that, and this sneezing and running nose is not just 10 minutes or half an hour. It goes on from the time that I get up, sometimes even before I get up. When I woke up, then I start sneezing, running nose, so I can get up, let's say 5 o'clock, or on Sunday maybe even 4:30 or 4 o'clock, and then I can go on sneezing and having this running nose until 7 o'clock. And I remember, by the grace and the power of God, that never affected my preaching, because somewhat, as soon as I reach the church door, whether it's 7:15 or 7 o'clock, my running nose stopped and I could preach. Although sometimes my throat is dry because you're sneezing all the time, so I had to drink a lot of warm water. And then we have consecutive services, 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I preach. Basically the idea is that double preaching. Next week then I can rest for one service. I still have to preach once, and the following week I preach twice again on the Sunday morning. And then this went on until I left the church, really. And then we have Wednesday, a midweek meeting on a Wednesday, and I take alternate preaching, so I give deacons more chances to preach on the Wednesday night. But quite often, last minute, the deacon will say, "Pastor, can you take over, because I can't do it." And I had to oblige, because I'm the pastor, the church, full-time worker. But coming back to this ground on for the sake of conscience, I will never persuade. I mean, I could persuade, but I will never force or insist. After some persuasion, if the person tells me that, Pastor or Tony, I'm still not ready to be vaccinated, and that's fine. I won't push it. I won't push it. As I said, I've encouraged church members to be vaccinated 3 or 4 times, but I don't push it. I don't go to the extent that one sermon that an elder sent me, not my elder, but from outside of Kota Kinabalu. That was just a few days ago, 4 or 5 days ago. A pastor was preaching, expounding on the verse, love your neighbor as yourself. And if you love yourself, you must get vaccinated. That is his reasoning. And I would imagine that is a fair interpretation, because vaccination may save your life if you get infected. But it goes on to say that if you don't get vaccinated and then you get infected and die, is equivalent to committing suicide. You're killing yourself. Oh, I think that is a bit strong. And then it says that if you're infected and then you infect others, you're killing your neighbor. Wow, that's a bit strong. I think life is so full of uncertainty, even with many other contagious disease. And you meet people all the time, especially for pastors. We shake hands before the time that we were still allowed to shake hands. Yeah, so if the person says that, Pastor, I'm not ready, belum sedia, that's fine. He has to make up his or her mind. You have to do research. I'll give you an example. Before I bought my new car, I did 2 years of research. Well, I have a budget that I want to, I don't want to spend over my budget. And then I have a list of about 10 different specifications that I want in my car. And I test drove maybe 7 or 8 cars, at least. Over the period of 2 years. When my son came back, I even took him to test drive with me. That was a while ago. And I took so much care, and then over 2 years I pray. And not every day I pray, because I don't pray every day that whether I should buy the car or not. But I do pray because it is a big investment. As they say, buying a car is the second highest investment apart from your house. So it took me 2 years of research. And if you don't like the car, or you feel that you make a mistake, you regret, buyer's remorse or whatever, you can sell it. It's just a car. It's outside your body. You may lose money, depreciate 10,000-20,000 a year, but that's money. But vaccination is in your body. People have become sick, adverse events or adverse reaction, including being paralyzed. A young man in Singapore I read, and the government payout there is like 220,000 Singapore dollars. I've not heard anything in Malaysia. Let's say if you get sick or paralyzed after vaccination, who's going to pay? Maybe you are thrown into a public hospital and no one bothers about you. I don't know. But you have to assess your risk and benefit. You have to do the risk and benefit analysis. And you really have to pray, because it is your health, it is your body. without good health, you cannot serve the Lord. So this is on the ground of conscience alone, and I will speak about the ground on health. I already related a bit on health, but I'll speak more on that in the next vlog, God willing. Thank you for watching. May God bless you.